it could be worse, and it is. It's genuinely worse. Like, I'm getting past, like, the insecure stage of it. Like, I don't know, I'm just not used to people being able to hear what I'm hearing, but it's definitely way worse with Euphoria, because, like, they're just, I live with my family, and, like, there's a lot of moaning going on in that show, and, like, I don't know, not the vibes. But anyways, I moved some things around actually lately. This shelf here was previously, like, over here-ish, and, like, I'm cool with it, I like it. I actually, it's like one of those square shelves, and the bottom one is empty now, because I've reorganized some things in my room, but I'm thinking of making it a section of books, because I have Tolkien books on the shelf, along with my Lord of the Rings extended editions, and the shelf below has my Supernatural DVDs and my Supernatural books. So I was thinking maybe the bottom shelf, because, like, obviously there's a lot going on here. I was thinking the bottom shelf could be like Twilight, Buffy books, Buffy comics, Vladimir Todd, anything, like, I don't know, it's just like a theme. I don't know. I could just put, like, other random shit there. I also just realized, oh, I put pictures, I put paintings up, recently too, and I just realized that this specific one used to be in the background of a lot of my videos in my last place, and, like, now I'm feeling, like, nostalgic. Anyways, I got two cute little doggies over here. So, first and foremost, we know it's coming. The Hobbit. This was my third time reading it, which is crazy. She is busted. Not busted. Well, she's busted, but she's also busted. Anyways, yeah, there's not much more I could say about it that I haven't already said like 50 times before, but I love it. It's really weird to me that was my third time reading it. Like, I feel like it was just yesterday, but it was 2 years ago, in 2020, like, pre everything that I read this, and, like, it was such a different time, and, like, I know that's not, like, specific to me, like, everybody feels that, but it's just weird, especially when, I don't know, even last year is such a different time than it is when I read it this year, but, like, it's just really weird. It was, like, right before, like, lockdown and everything. It was, like, February, I think, of 2020, and, like, it's weird. It also, like, spiraled my Tolkien obsession, and which carried me through a lot of 2020. But anyways, that's it. We don't need to spend more time on it. Oh, I read 2 audiobooks. Let me get those out of the way. The first was David Spade's oh fuck, what's it called? Not That Interesting. Oh my god, I was hoping I wouldn't have to look it up because it was easy, books to remember. Anybody else playing Wordle? Because that's another tab I've opened on my screen. Fun stuff. David Spades. Oh, just a chill time. It did what it had to do, which was like keep me occupied while I did other things. It was good. I enjoyed it. Nothing bad to say, but it wasn't like anything crazy. And I also listened to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Guys, it's so hot in here. So, again, if the nose itching bothers you, I apologize, but that just happens when it gets like super warm in my room. And the fan is too much noise, but, yeah, Pride and Prejudice. I liked it. I am planning on watching the 1995, BBC miniseries that it's on Hulu, I think. You could probably find it somewhere else too. With Colin Firth. I've never seen it. I have seen the 2005 movie, and I actually really liked it. I feel like I'd seen it before, but I definitely watched it. Maybe I caught like a little on TV or something, like when I was a kid, but I watched it in my senior year of high school. We watched it in my English class. That was the class that like the teacher knew that we weren't here for like too much. We all like had checked out, so she did like what she could to keep us interested. And instead of like reading it, we watched the 2005 movie. And I remember like actually like being pleasantly surprised. Also, Keira Knightley, specifically in that movie, I think, maybe other times, but definitely in that movie, she looked a lot like Rose from Rose and Rosie on YouTube, and I remember being like taken aback in that class, but I liked it. I definitely have fond memories of the hand flex. So I'm gonna find that online too and watch. But I was like actually kind of surprised at how much I liked the book. It lost me in a couple places, and I think it's part of like it held my attention enough that I really liked it. It definitely, it vibes, you know what I mean? Like it, even though it's like an old-timey kind of story, it's still kind of like, it catches your attention still. Like I understood what was going on, you know? But like a couple things like kind of like lost me for a second. I would have to like rewind. That could have also been like that I was distracted and listening to an audiobook. I definitely would like to acquire a physical copy of the book to have on my shelf. It's a little cloudy. But specifically basically, it's about a girl named Kaya who lives in like this like marshland area, and basically like she's constantly being abandoned by people, and she is very in tune with nature, and it flashes between part of it takes place in like the time that she's growing up and progresses throughout that, and then it flashes forward to a like murder mystery vibe, where a character is deceased, not her, just so we're clear, but it goes back and forth, and you kind of have to piece things together, and I didn't fully see the ending coming, but I don't know, like, it's there, but it's not, and I enjoyed it regardless. It's beautifully written. I really liked all of it. Oh, and I also have, if we could ignore the mess on my dresser for right now, it's not all my stuff, but just, I got the calendar from Barnes & Noble, when I finished reading it, like July, like mid-January, and I got the calendar. They had like 50% off. I was between this and the mini, Taylor Swift folklore calendar, but it wasn't available for pickup, so anyways, it has like, February is like an owl. It's all like very like nature themed, and it's supposed to be like in Kaya's world, and like there's also like little quotes on the bottom, and I love it. I love looking at it. January was very beautiful too, and I enjoyed seeing it every day. It's kind of like now the book gets to live with me for the rest of the year, if that makes sense. So I'm glad I actually read it when I did, which was in January, and then got that. So like, I get to like sit in this world, this beautiful nature-based world, and just soak in it, you know. It. What else was I gonna say? Oh, Books and Lala here on YouTube. She put out last year, but I missed it, and then again this year, like this buzzword challenge, where like every month there's a different word, and like you can like challenge yourself to read a book that has that word in it, or that type of word in it for the year. And hold on, let me see if I have it here. There it is. I have it on my desktop. January's was the 5 W's, so who, what, where, when, why, and I went with where the crawdads sing. I was between this and A Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, my first book of the month. Also, as where I was going to either read that or this, or both. It didn't happen, but I will get there eventually. And the last book that I read was In Every Generation by Kandare Blake. It is a Buffyverse book. Honestly, sometimes doing these videos makes me notice more about the cover than I would normally, because I It's a sequel to an absolutely remarkable thing, a beautifully foolish endeavor. I read it as soon as I got in the mail. Everything just sits on my shelf forever. Like, this is like the quickest I got to a book. I read it immediately, did not let it sit. It is the first in an upcoming series, and I have thoughts. I have theories, but I can't get to theories because they're all spoiler related. Hi Mia. I did genuinely enjoy this. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Now, something I talked about a while back when I talked about this being like a highly anticipated book for me. Let me back up a second. It is about Willow Rosenberg's child, who is a witch, and also a slayer. She's the first slayer witch. And basically, like, something happens to all of the existing slayers. That might also be spoilers for the end of Buffy, but I'm sorry, I can't explain this any other way. So like all of the existing slayers, including Buffy, something happens, and she gets her slayer powers, and all this stuff ensues. And like, something I didn't like was that when I read the reviews for people who got like an arc of this book, they said that they didn't like that Willow having a child was a spell gone wrong that made her pregnant. And like, I feel like before I got to how it happened, which is explained at the pretty early on in it, it makes a little more sense in the book. But prior to that, that was like a gripe I had. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, I feel like Willow would be a great mom, and she is. But she would have, if anything, would have found a spell to get herself pregnant to begin with, because she's also a lesbian and a powerful witch. She would have gotten that, like, she could have done it herself, is what I'm saying. So that, like, bothered me, but it makes a bit more sense to the plot, the way it's written. I still am not completely on board with it, but it made more sense. I actually plan on writing a Goodreads review because I want the author to see it, because I want to, even though, like, why should she give a shit what, like, people have to say? But I want to make it clear, I want the Willow Oz, will they, won't they, to stop. I hated it. Like, I get that, like, there's always going to be, like, powerful feelings between them, but, like, it wasn't jiving with me. And it is explicitly stated that in the book as well that Willow is gay, but she also touches upon, like, the complicated relationship between them, and, like, I don't know how I feel, and I just hope that, like, they don't do it, because, like, I don't know, it's weird to me to, like, erase what was already said. Something I did like is that they seem to have ignored the comic books, which is valid because not everybody has read those, but everybody has watched the show. I've read the first few comics in the series. They're pretty good, and I'd like to continue, but there are some things I did not like, and I'm glad we're kind of just cutting that out so we don't have to deal with it. I respect that. But I think a lot of people might find certain things cringe that were actually really good, and I'm gonna include this in my review. There was like a selfie demon storyline at some point, like a demon that was like, are those grays? I know I got grays, but that looks like a big chunk. I don't know. There was like a evil stuff happening with like selfies and social media, and it made sense, the plot, and like guys today, you cannot tell me that they wouldn't do that, because they so would. It felt very Buffy to me, and like she definitely captured a lot of the like the banter and the humor, and I enjoy that a lot, because that's like a big part of Buffy for me. Like there's a specific